Hello, everybody, and welcome to Movie.Cast. This is our first episode of 2016. We went on a bit of a holiday break.
Hiatus.
So this is a little more than a break.
A little bit. Okay, it was a little long, but we do hope to keep the podcast going this year. And so welcome. This is Movie.Cast. We are three people who love movies. I'm Mike. This is Amber and Kosta.
Hi.
And so we love movies and we love talking about movies. So we are a little bit into 2016. It's actually almost February, but why don't we talk, since we're entering award season and all that, let's talk about some of the best films that we saw last year. Okay. All right, so Kosta, let's start with you since you're at the far end here.
Okay.
What were your top five?
My top five.
Yeah, what were your top five films of 2015?
So if you had asked me this question like 3-4 weeks ago, I may have said Star Wars as my number one. But after time is, I saw the movie twice, and time has kind of allowed things to settle, and I've kind of come down from the hype a little bit. I still love Star Wars. Star Wars is my number 2 movie for this year.
Traitor.
But my number 1 is Ex Machina.
Okay.
Is my number 1,
right.
which huge snub at the Oscars, by the way. It only got nominated for I think like 3 categories. Wasn't even up for Best Picture, which was a total disappointment.
Despite having 2 extra slots.
Yep.
Yeah, despite having 2 extra slots. And you also having starring Donald Gleason and Oscar Isaac, who are both also in Star Wars. Amazing performance. Alicia Vikander, but she got nominated for Best Actress for the Danish Girl, but not Ex Machina. Number 3, for me, I said Star Wars Force Awakens is number 2. Number 3 is The Martian. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Matt Damon was hilarious in that movie. It was, I love the fact that it was a movie that was based in hard science, in real numbers and stuff like that. And it wasn't like anything, like it didn't get too far over like the audience's head, I think. Dealing with a lot of complex ideas and concepts. And it was very understandable, it was very funny. And I think even the supporting cast was very strong in the movie. Number 4 is Inside Out.
Nice. I like Inside Out.
Inside Out was, obviously Pixar, kind of struggled, I guess, in the last couple. They'd gone a year without a movie.
Yeah, there was it was a struggle for a few years.
Well, there was Brave before that, right?
Right.
Brave was a bit of a disappointment.
And Monsters University.
So they had a couple
which I thought was a pretty decent film, but I know most
University.
people. Yeah, I did too, but I think most people just didn't think it was up there.
And
so,
but obviously now they're back at peak performance with Inside Out. The movie just gave you everything.
And then they put out The Good Dinosaur, and then they made you question it again.
Well, I think it may have just been a bad part for them to be to try and squeeze in 2 movies. I think if they'd just stuck with their movie a year and not try to rush out getting a second movie, who knows. And then number 5 was my surprise of the year, and that was Creed. Creed completely blew me away.
Creed, yeah.
Completely blew me away. Honestly, I didn't expect it to be any more than just this generic boxing movie, and Stallone would kind of going through, because he's played Rocky 6 times. This is his 7th time playing.
It's
7th time playing the role of Rocky. So he's familiar with the character. He's just sort of going through the motions. And Michael B. Jordan's not a bad actor or anything by any means, but obviously he just came off of Fantastic Four, and so I just want to say, because I'm a fan of the Rocky series.
Sure.
And Stallone, if you thought that there weren't any more layers to Rocky as a character, or if there were any real layers to him at all, Stallone took Rocky Balboa on a whole other level, because he's no longer the boxer. He's a mentor, and they brought in a lot of these more personal elements to the character that you never really saw before. And Michael B. Jordan threw himself into the role of Adonis Creed, and it was just a really great movie.
And Sylvester Stallone was nominated, right?
Yep.
He was nominated.
He's probably gonna win.
And Michael B. Jordan was.
He was not. He was not. But
doesn't that suck to be the star of a movie and not even get nominated for being the best thing in that movie?
Right. Stallone was to me the best part of the movie.
And that's fair. That's fair.
And he won the Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor, which that's not always the telltale sign of who wins the Oscars, but he totally deserves to win the Oscar for Best Supporting, the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen Creed,
very
but I
good,
have
yeah.
heard
It's
good
very
things
good.
about it.
It's very
so.
good.
Yeah.
Amber, what are yours?
Oh boy. I'll go 5 and up.
Okay.
So my number.
So backwards order.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna lead up to
Yeah.
So my number 5, I put. I had to like remember like what I watched.
I'm looking. I had to look it up on IMDb, and I actually found a few
But number 5,
films.
I put Kung Fury.
I
I put Kung Fury.
I don't count that movie, but sure.
I did because I had a lot of fun. I watched it multiple times.
It's a
over the
half-hour
summer.
YouTube film. I don't really count
It's
that.
still a film in 2015, and it was one of the more enjoyable ones that
was.
I thought compared to some movies that came out. But anyway, so I put Kung Fury in there. My number 4 is Southpaw. I did see Creed. And I did see Southpaw. They're both boxing movies, but for some reason, I really liked Southpaw a little bit more.
Okay. And I still haven't seen Southpaw.
I mean, it's your typical. It's got all the hits of like where you see the storyline going to, but it was done so well. And Jake Gyllenhaal was really good in it, and he like completely transformed like into a boxer and like talk differently and I just really liked it. So when I went to the movies and saw it, enjoyed it, and then it's one of those things where like I don't really buy movies unless I really like them, and I went out and like bought that when it came out. So Southpaw I really liked. And then number 3 is Straight Outta Compton.
Nice.
I didn't like. I think that was one of those movies that came out this summer that nobody really expected to blow up, but it did.
Right.
And it's surprisingly like really good movie, real like intense. It's not like I was afraid that it was going to be kind of like how the like Biggie Smalls movie, like it was just like not good, like Getting Unknowns, but like it was very well done. Like the art, like Ice Cube and all them were like right there, like making sure like all this stuff happened. And so I just really liked that movie as well. I think it should have gotten some more recognition at the awards because it was big this summer. It
hardly got any recognition.
It
from the
should have
Oscars.
gotten at least put in that spot, one of those spots.
Right.
So.
And just as a quick side note, and I feel like you know what I'm about to say
Yeah.
in a minute, I am a big fan of the TV show 24.
Yep.
And they're making this 24 Legacy series, which is a spin-off series.
Dr. Dre.
And the guy who played Dr. Dre, Corey Hawkins, is going to be the lead in 24. So now I might actually have to watch Straight Outta Compton.
He was good. I think
just to see.
the guys that played, like I told you, I said the actors that played Eazy-E and Ice Cube, who was Ice Cube's actual son, who looks exactly like him. It's kind of weird. And then there's a guy in there, like Tupac shows up, and I thought it was Tupac. I feel like it really is.
They brought Tupac back.
There's
He's
like
been alive this whole time. I knew it.
There's a Tupac cameo, and I thought it was Tupac. I really did. It was like they had really good like casting.
So maybe that actor, like he's the one that's been walking around and was like, I've seen Tupac.
Well, supposedly
alive
I read
out
somewhere that the actor that shows up in this movie is playing Tupac in the Tupac movie. So I was really excited because I like thought it was one of the. Remember like a couple years ago when they had like the like fake like virtual reality
the
Tupac. I
hologram.
thought that was a
Rose?
hologram.
Mark Rose is the actor name who played Tupac.
Well, he looks like him. Like he looks like him. All right, but
Okay.
all right. That's my number 2 is The Revenant.
The Revenant.
Revenant.
The Reverend.
Revenant.
Reverend.
That Leonardo DiCaprio bear movie. I saw that.
And the Oscar goes to The Bear.
The bear.
Yeah.
The Oscar goes to The Bear.
I saw that 3 weeks ago. It's a 2015 movie. It came out.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
the tail end of,
That one was really good. I wasn't sure because I wasn't really a fan of Birdman. I know everybody likes that, and that's from Inarritu's last movie. But I saw this one, and I was on the edge of my seat, and it's like over 2 hours long.
I mean, it was near 3 hours long.
Yeah, there's like really quiet scenes where there's like minimal dialogue, but there's so much intensity to it. So it was beautifully shot. Leo should definitely win the award because
Should.
But for him at this point,
should.
but for him, it almost seems like it's by default though, because overall it seems like a very underwhelming Oscar season. There isn't.
But if you see that movie, it's not underwhelming.
Well, no, it's not. I mean, I
yeah.
saw the Red Ribbon. I didn't have it on the list because for me, like, I kind of consider it more of a 2016 movie because even though it's up for the Oscars right now, I saw it when it had its worldwide release
Yeah.
in January. So I mean, it was a really good movie. You know, but I kind of feel like it's getting all these nods and it's up for all the all the major awards. I think almost just by default.
Yeah.
I think.
It is, but it was really, it's definitely something that, like, I didn't know if I was going to like it or not, because I didn't know. I didn't know if it was going to be Terrence Malick like, and I don't really care for Terrence Malick because I don't feel like just watching outside a window.
I haven't seen it yet, but like even when I first saw the trailer, there was nothing in it that made me think, "Oh, this looks great." I was just like, "Okay, it's Leo out in the wild."
Plus, you have to wonder, you know, how much. I mean, because if he wins the Oscar, I mean, Leo threw himself into the role, like no doubt about that.
Oh, absolutely.
But there is almost like no dialogue, so he's gonna get for his physical acting, because basically it's just a bunch of grunts and yells from Leo for most of the movie.
There is one part where he eats like a liver, and at that point,
and he actually did.
Yeah.
Well, he took a bite out of it, and like I was like, oh, he's not acting because he looked like he was gonna puke.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's not acting. He's just like trying to get through this role. Like he's like,
We gotta give it to him. Like, yeah, he committed wholeheartedly to the role.
Oscar.
Well, he's like, you could see him like throwing it up in his mouth and like.
We're trying to get to his happy place.
Yeah.
Like, wow. To picture himself winning that Oscar.
This is gonna be worth it. This is gonna be worth it.
I would love to be that camera person at the Oscars who has to be trained on Leo at that time.
You know what? And watch.
Come on.
And watch. Eddie Redmayne will win for Best Actor, and I would not blame Leo if he just like flipped the table and just like walked
Just
out.
left the Oscars like,
It's like I'm done.
I ate a liver for this.
The next day,
I
Leonardo
slept
DiCaprio
inside.
quit acting.
Yeah.
And he slept inside a real horse carcass.
He was pantless at first. If
yeah,
you notice,
yeah.
I don't understand why, but he was pantless.
That's lovely.
Dude was butt ass naked inside of a real horse.
He went
like
all
sleeping
Luke
in a, like he
Skywalker.
went all out. He went all out.
So
Really makes me want to see
anyway,
this movie more.
it's great. That was my number 2. Sorry. And my number 1, surprisingly, guys, was Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Star Wars fan. You guys know this. I just whatever. And I saw it like Star Wars, and I saw it twice.
Nice. Yeah.
I didn't see it like opening. I'm not going to do that. I'll just wait. It's still going to be there. It's not like a one-time thing. So I went.
See, we did it the smart way. We reserved seats.
Yeah.
The Cinemark in Towson lets you do reserved seating.
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
reserved seats. That the day that those sales went online, I was one of those people who was sitting at my
You
computer
broke
for 2
Fandango?
hours. I didn't even get the chance to break Fandango. It was already broken in the first few seconds. Like I literally spent the whole night just getting refreshed. And the worst part was that Fandango's like error screen brought up a picture of Darth Vader. Saying like there's been a disturbance in the force.
Yeah, obviously.
That's insulting. But anyway.
But yes, but surprisingly, guys, that was like my favorite Star Wars movie out of all the Star Wars movies that I saw. It was fun.
It was very good, yeah.
Storyline was good. Kylo Ren was like an emo child man thing. I like when he takes off his helmet. He has perfect hair.
Yeah, oh, of course.
He doesn't have helmet head.
It's Hollywood, you know.
I like it was just like perfect hair. But yeah, I liked it. It was fun. I can't wait for the next one.
Rogue One or Episode 8?
Whatever. Sure.
Okay.
Whatever.
Well, if you're
talk about that a
talking about the
little bit,
continuation
too.
of this story, then you're probably.
I'm
want
excited
episode
for the
eight.
continuation of this story, but it makes me want to go excited for what Disney's going to what Lucasfilm now is putting out with now that it's under Kathleen Kennedy's direction. Producing it wise, just because I think now it's just going to be like story wise, and they're making sure they're getting people with a really good eye, and they're making sure like this is going to be.
And I'm just gonna say I am a huge Star Wars fan, and it's interesting because at the end of the movie, and this isn't even spoiling anything, it's like I have no idea where they're gonna take this story, and I love that. I love that. That's the like I'm in this age of connected films where you can follow threads through multiple films. How this film's gonna we can almost somewhat predict how Avengers Part 2 is going to turn out.
Yeah.
We have no idea what's going to happen in episode 8 or 9 yet.
They didn't even give you
And-
any like Easter eggs of like
No.
other than it was just like we gotta find this person.
They leave you at a cliff,
and
at
then
a,
you're
bit-
just
at
at
a
a
cliffhanger.
They leave you just
That-
with more
that's
questions,
wide open.
and you just.
Yeah.
But the thing I like most about it, it's not about like I think we had a discussion on like character development and
Mm-hmm.
more like about the characters, and that's what was open was character development.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's going on with this character instead
Right.
of like and like
Yeah,
how are
there's
they like
a lot of
the
mystery
interactions
surrounding
with
the
all,
current cast.
yeah, and it's really just like how are they going to interact, what are their
Mm-hmm.
backstories. You want to know more about the character instead of like I want to know about robots and when they blow up and all this other bullshit that nobody cares about.
It was better than in episode 1 when we were talking about tax laws.
I
For the
s-
first half hour of the
politics.
movie.
I don't care about your politics.
Exactly.
I don't care about your
Yeah.
fake science fiction
Yeah.
politics. I don't know what a Sith Lord is.
Yeah.
I don't care. Is that like a Donald Trump? I don't know.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. But okay, so that's awesome and that's going to lead into now
Yours.
my top 5.
Go.
Woohoo! Now I'm going to do what you did in reverse order. So, and actually, I said I was looking up the movies that I had seen this past year on IMDb, and I had to remind myself of this
Yeah.
one. So, not this one, the next one, but I have Chappie at the end of my list.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to put a
didn't
disclaimer
see it.
out. I
That
have
was
not
bad.
seen a whole lot of like the films that most people consider to be like maybe some of the best, like Revenant or Hateful Eight or some of those. I have seen some big ones like Mad Max, but like, so my list might be a little bit more skewed than most. So let me just put that out right there. And I have Chappie on the list because I was really mostly disappointed by a lot of the big films that came out last year. And
Like every one that
almost
we saw.
every single one,
Especially
that we
the
saw
ones
this
that we
past
saw.
year,
Yeah.
including Mad Max. But so Chappie, I just thought I understand if people didn't like it, and there were some elements to it that weren't great, but it had enough heart and character in it that I could give it a pass for its shortcomings. Where in some films I just couldn't. So it's like, and plus my list is more limited. So I have Chappie on there. Another limited selection that I actually bumped up just because of its script. The Jobs movie, the Steve Jobs
I haven't seen that one.
film.
Yeah.
It's not the best. It's not one. It's the pseudo sequel to Social Network, but it's not Social Network.
It's
basically like
Steve Jobs.
Right, but it's the same
Apple
writer
Network.
of Social Network. It's Aaron Sorkin
Yeah,
who
yeah.
did Social Network, Moneyball. His scripts are generally very, very good, and this was no different. The script was fun, and it was an engaging film. It kept you entertained the whole time. I mean, it had some problems with some repetition, and it just didn't have
Nobody
that
looks
same.
like anybody that they're supposed to be playing.
Michael Fassbender kind of pulled it off.
Michael Fassbender does
He-
not look like Steve Jobs.
He pulled it off in the movie. I mean, yes, there were times
I've
where you
seen
could.
pictures
where
of the
there were
movie. He
times
does
where you
not.
could clearly see, like, where it's like, that's really Michael Fassbender trying to look like Steve Jobs. But then there were times where I was like, he kind of fits. Like, I mean, I'm not saying it's like the greatest movie out there, but it was still enjoyable, and it wasn't. But so I have that on my list out of the films I've seen that I enjoyed. Number 3 is a surprise entry for most. Peanuts. The Peanuts movie was
Yeah.
fantastic. If you were a fan of the old Peanuts cartoon, the one that came out 50 years ago, like this was a beautiful, like this was the producer of this movie the movie clearly loved the Peanuts gang, and so what they did,
it was Charles Schultz's son. He was a part of the
right,
project.
and the company itself, like they went to great strides to recreate the animation style of the 1950s, but bring it into a modern era.
Yeah.
Where it gives you the feeling of it being a Pixar film, but it's not. And it did a good job
Still
of
had,
bringing
like,
back the
that flat-
characters.
That flatness to it.
Yes, it had that little bit of
it's
flatness,
still
but it pops out.
But it's still
Right.
Yeah, it's still.
Yeah, like the
CG.
same, like the same sort of style, like how Snoopy was always like very animated. Like there were some times where it just felt like they just took Snoopy right from the old cartoon
Comic.
and then just plopped it in. Because some of the animations were just perfect.
Yeah.
And they did a good job at bringing back the Peanuts humor, and it was still funny. This was a cartoon that was about life back in the 50s, and it still works today. So I love that movie. I thought it was great. It was definitely one of those surprises this year. Wasn't really sure what to think of it going into it. Number 2, Inside Out, because
You really
I love that was the first film I liked this year.
Yeah.
That I
Yeah, I
just
know.
fell in
We
love
were
with
sitting
this year.
next to-
We did the
yeah.
podcast about this. Yes,
You were in love with that movie.
It was amazing. It brought back everything that was good about Pixar, where they were willing to take chances, but they make stories that both adults and kids can enjoy. Now, this one would be one of those films where
I think it's-
if you're a kid, you probably don't understand it until you grow up a little bit.
It is for adults.
It is. This one is more for
it's more
adults.
for adults or somebody that's already hit
Yeah.
puberty.
Right,
That's
exactly. but even so though, it was still so much fun. It was beautiful. It was animated so gorgeous, and like some of the plot twists in it that you would normally expect from a film, like maybe you could predict some of the plot twists that happened in it, but they still did it in a good way. And like the big plot twists, like it caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
To be honest, and it's very rare that they set it up that way where they can surprise you. And I'm just trying not to give too much away for anybody who hasn't seen it. But if you haven't seen Inside Out yet, go see it. It's a fantastic, wonderful, family-friendly film and it's so different from every other film out there nowadays. And number one, Star Wars.
Star Wars.
I agree completely, 100%. Force Awakens. I was looking forward to it all year.
It didn't disappoint.
It did not disappoint.
Nope.
And it made everything about Star Wars better. Exactly. Like we all joked about how the stormtroopers had terrible aim, because it was a film from 1977, and but they made the stormtroopers scary in this one. Like I would actually be scared if a stormtrooper was there and trying to kill me.
Unless it's Finn. Unless it's Finn.
Oh well,
Because he
yeah.
doesn't
Then if it's Finn, I'm okay. But which brings up the point. The cast was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, they did such a great job. They took Lucas's route of finding actors who weren't really big names for their lead roles. And one of the best things that Star Wars did is just by its cast. Its main cast are a woman and a black man, which is so much different than any other Hollywood film. Which is, in Hollywood films, it's always a male lead role, generally white, and they immediately.
And also, like Oscar Isaac, I think is what.
Yeah, he has a little bit of an ethnicity to him as well. I'm not exactly sure, but
I think he's Latino or something.
right.
Yeah,
But either way, they took the biggest blockbuster of the year, and that we
so diverse.
right,
Yeah.
and they made it so diverse. Like I saw a graphic on Facebook says like Hollywood has tried to feed us lies about a woman can't lead a successful blockbuster. This is the highest grossing movie in the U.S. ever. So, did Star Wars just shatter that lie? Yeah, I think they did.
Well,
So
I
that-
think they just say that, but they never try it anyway. So
Right,
it doesn't
exactly.
matter. Yeah, of course
Yeah.
you don't have the statistics because you don't put them.
Because nobody did it. And
Or you make a really shitty movie
Right.
that and pay some actress that'll do it, but
Right.
because they're doing it for a paycheck. Yeah, duh.
And yeah, so it's great because I think people can learn lessons from this film. Like they used a lot of practical effects. They used CGI where they had to, but for the most part, they tried to reinstate that episode
back
4.
to
Yeah,
what it
of
was.
bringing back actual physical sets, models, all that. They only used CGI when they needed it, and that's what it should be.
And it's great because
As
they
a-
look so much better than at least the prequels.
right.
That could have done that. That could have done that.
Or, an even better example, it looked better than anything the Avengers put out this year or any Marvel film
Well,
this
yeah, 'cause
year.
they do a lot
it looked
yeah.
so much better and it looked realistic. I could buy in more. I couldn't buy in to Avengers and Ant-Man especially Ant-Man, because it was all fake.
Well,
I was just like, this
it
is
didn't
all
shrink.
terrible.
Yeah,
but
it's
it
ants,
didn't
yeah.
look good. It looked bad. It looked like I was watching CGI. This film had some moments of that, but for the most part, they did a good job at making you feel like you were actually in this film, in this universe. So overall, I loved it. So,
course.
Of
course.
Star Wars Force, I'm with you. I saw it twice, and it was the only film that I can think in the past, maybe 5 to 10 years, I've seen twice in a theater. I can't remember the last film I saw twice.
I know,
in a theater, and I saw
because
this
the
one
first
twice.
time I saw your second. I went
Knight.
with you, and you.
Oh, Dark Knight, yeah.
Because I saw Star Wars twice. When you mentioned it, Dark Knight was the last movie I went and saw twice.
Okay. Yeah.
remember
Dark Knight was a good movie.
But Star Wars is the last thing I can remember that I've seen twice. Yeah.
So that was my favorite film of
Yeah.
last year. I'm saying it my favorite film, you know, because I also do think it was the best film that I saw last year, but it's also one of my favorites. So.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
was surprised, and like I know after I saw it the first time, I was like, I'm probably gonna go back and see this again, just
Yeah.
because I enjoyed it. And even if like the second time you see, you already knew what was happening, but like it was just like, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It was just fun to see. You want to see
Absolutely,
those
yeah.
characters, and maybe in case you missed something, because there's a lot of stuff that like we were talking about afterwards that were like, oh, did you see this? Did you see that? Oh, what do you think this means?
Yeah,
and,
it
like
was-
we want to watch it again.
Yeah,
like,
it was thrilling. It was entertaining, and it leaves you wanting more because the story's incomplete, obviously, because they have a bunch more episodes to go. But it was just a great film. It's
Yeah.
what modern films should try to emulate, at least. A diverse cast. That's a thrilling
and
story.
it's a simple story.
It's a simple story,
pretty
but
simple.
but it still has plenty of character, plenty
it's
of
a lot of-
reason for you to be invested. You know, without it trying to force that upon you or like take away from the action or something like that. Like it was balanced.
Yep.
And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
So, going off of that high note,
Yeah.
let's go immediately, real quick. What was the biggest disappointment of last year? Like, well, like I have
know.
a few.
Yeah, I'll go with mine.
But Kosta, what was the film that disappointed you the most? Which one? Like
You
you
were
were really excited for it,
Or it looked
and you saw
good.
it, and you were like,
Black Mass.
yes.
Black,
Oh my God,
Black
yes.
Mass. See,
I
Johnny
I
Depp.
almost fell asleep watching that.
Johnny
I enjoyed it.
Johnny Depp was, I mean, great in the movie. He was back to his old form, but the story was just so boring.
It was.
I mean,
long
it,
and dragged
it
out.
just literally just went from like point A to point B. Nothing in the movie had any consequences. Like there was no payoff at the end. The movie just sort of ended. You know. Some other ones, just to quickly mention, I mean, Spectre was kind of a bummer.
You saw half of it.
No. I saw
A third.
No, I saw all of it
Two
up until basically the climax of the movie, which ended up being like the best part of the movie.
Yes.
Okay,
But
yeah.
but I was falling asleep watching Spectre.
And I'm gonna jump
Yeah.
in on that because I'm just gonna say that was also my disappointment of the year too, because Spectre had the chance to be something really good coming off of the high of Skyfall. You know, it had a
went
chance
goofy.
to follow
It went
up.
goofy, and it didn't
And-
make any sense.
It went goofy. It was long. It was plotting. They had the action scenes in it throughout up until that climax were all just useless. Like
Bond
that
girl
thug,
was boring.
Like that thug who was chasing them the whole time. He was just a useless time filler. Like he didn't add anything to this film except, oh well, I'm the
Guardians
reason
of the
why
Galaxy
there are
guy.
these action scenes.
Right.
in
I mean,
this
you can
film.
talk about other movies too, like Age of Ultron, but the thing with Age of Ultron was I didn't like have like high expectations
and you
going
didn't
into
fall
it.
asleep during it.
I didn't fall asleep during it
Ah.
either. But like with Age of Ultron, just sort of like, you know, with Marvel movies, it's like the expectation at this point is either it's going to be okay or it could be
But
bad.
see, I guess
or,
for me,
you know,
that's why I put it as one of my disappointments. Not my top. I think Spectre is the top, but like I put that as my disappointments because that shouldn't be your expectation. If you're going to see a movie, you should expect it to be a good movie.
Well, no, but see, but I have
But,
higher expectations for Civil War though, just
Yeah, I
as a
See,
fair point.
I'm because of what Marvel's shown me up to this point, I'm keeping my expectation tempered. But that's another conversation for another podcast. Amber, what was your biggest disappointment of
My
2015?
biggest disappointment was actually Crimson Peak
Crimson Peak.
with
Oh
Guillermo
yeah.
del Toro.
Never saw it.
Yeah.
I didn't either, and to be
I
honest,
yeah.
it didn't look like.
Well, that was
anything I
the
would
thing
like.
was everybody thought it was going to be like this haunted house movie. It was not. It was boring. It was just the plot, the storyline was just like it was like you could see it going one or two ways, and you're like, it's not going any way except this way or that way, and I predicted it went the way that I figured, and a lot of people did, and so it was during like October, so we're like, okay, everybody's gonna see this. The poster looks cool. There's gonna be stuff, and it's Guillermo del Toro coming back to like ghosts and stuff. If you've ever seen his movie Devil's Backbone, which is a creepy movie with a dead kid and ghosts and an orphanage and things like that. Like that was like awesome and good. So I thought we were going back to that, except the English version. And no, we just some weird Victorian era bullshit.
Yeah.
And so that I was really disappointed because like literally like 15, 20 minutes into the movie, I started getting bored. And even during like the most intense moments, I was just like, just hurry up and get this over with. Like, it's bad when the first opening shot, your actress has fake CGI tears.
Oh.
Like literally, like I was like, those aren't real. Those are not real. Her face is gigantic
like,
on the screen, blown up. And those are fake CGI tears with the fake smog.
It's like they try to get her to cry on the spot.
It's like, she's an actress. You should be able to. She should be that. She's being paid $1 million.
They waste like an hour waiting for her. It's like, all right, we'll just do it in post.
I mean, if anything, just spray something in her eye. Spray some lemon in her
spray.
Just
eye.
poke her, you know, just like go.
It was so. It was
yeah.
really. It was really just. I love Tom Hiddleston, but I did not love this movie. So.
Fair enough.
Yep.
I mean, I haven't seen it. It's nothing I was
Yeah,
interested to see,
I
but-
had friends that were like, "Hey, should we?" And I was like, "Don't." I said, "No, don't go see it."
Don't.
I was like, "It's not even worth buying." I was like, "Maybe like if you're really bored one day on Netflix, if it shows up, it's not even worth $1." Redbox, I don't think. And then Spectre was like, I agree, Spectre was disappointing.
The last.
At least there was some action in it, and I wasn't like bored to death from it.
The last third of Spectre, I wish that had been like the primary focus of the whole movie.
Yeah.
Because that's when it got interesting. Like the whole like MI6 having to go rogue.
that
and
that was interesting. That was good.
But they saved all that for the end, and by that point, I
That
was
should
just
have been
like,
the entire
I'm too
movie.
bored at this
Yeah.
point for me to actually care. And then I was upset that I could completely predict what happened with Andrew Scott's character. The guy, you know, Moriarty from the Sherlock series. I just knew what was going to happen. Like right when he showed up, I'm like, oh well, he's the bad guy.
He's got that face.
Like and plus, if you know that actor as Moriarty from Sherlock, you just know that's the sort of role he's going to play. So clearly, he's not going to be a good guy.
I just
so
I mean,
it went
I
back
know
to-
it had a lot of stuff for Skyfall, but still, like this felt like they
they
forgot
tried
that
to-
Skyfall existed, and they just went from Quantum of Solace, and you're like, okay, it might be better than Quantum of Solace. But still.
And any film is better than Quantum of Solace.
Yeah, but still, it's just like, how would you, from Skyfall to this? How did you think this was going to be just as good?
I still think Skyfall is the only good Daniel Craig Bond film so far. I didn't like Casino Royale personally. So
I think Casino Royale is a good movie, but once you see Skyfall, you realize it's
exactly.
so superior.
Yeah.
Than, like a lot of Bond films.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So that's enough for looking back. And so the last section of our podcast today, let's look ahead to this year. And Kosta and I have talked about this a few times when we worked together. Like, there's something for every fan base this year, coming out this year in 2016. You've got a Star Trek film, you've got a Star Wars film, you've got Fantastic Beasts, so the Harry Potter world, they get another film.
Yeah.
You got Deadpool, you got X-Men. You know,
two Marvel
you can
movies,
choose from
two DC
any,
movies.
Yeah, 2 Marvel, 2 DC films.
Assassin's Creed.
You can choose from any pool of fanboys and be like, hey, you get a
Everything's
film,
coming
you get a
out.
film,
Yeah,
you get a film,
yeah.
you get a film. So, but let's just narrow it down real quickly, and let's just go back in that same roundhouse order. Kosta, what films are you looking forward to the most this year?
My number one I'm looking forward to the most, just because of the most recent trailer, Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Yes.
Suicide Squad, that last trailer, to the tune of Bohemian Rhapsody, was probably one of the most fun trailers I've seen in a long time. Probably outside of when they put out like that first like longer length trailer for Force Awakens. But I mean, this looks like such a fun movie. You got to see more of Jared Leto as the Joker.
Yeah.
And what I like about it is that I don't even care about his appearance. It just seems like the attitude that he's bringing to.
There's one shot where he's like, I think he's shooting a gun and he's just laughing the entire time, and I was like,
Right.
yes! And he's wearing like a
Do
suit.
you know what I love about that? Because it always seemed like every other iteration of the Joker just seemed to this is like Leto's version of the Joker is someone who is happy with who he's actually enjoying being this maniacal,
I
crazy
believe
like.
his laugh.
Yes.
Where like Heath Ledger, like he wasn't like he had that on, and he was like a grimacing. Like, this guy's like jolly, like
Like
I'm
you
having
could
a
see
maniacal
like with Ledger's performance as the Joker, even a little bit like there was like a lot of despair in that. Like whereas Leto is just like this happy psychopath as the Joker.
He's always laughing and
And I don't disagree with that, but I do also still like the fact that it still does kind of like from his voice inflection and all that, it still does kind of recall a little bit of Heath Ledger. And look, I'm not a comic book fan, so I know there are tons of
There's
variations of the
different
Joker.
variations,
I
yeah.
love The Dark Knight, so I love The Dark Knight Joker. I'm a movie fan. I enjoy these movies, but like, so I don't always know the history. I know that Joker's supposed to be more maniac than he is, like, you know,
Brutal.
smart
Yeah,
criminal.
yeah.
But
No, he's still a smart criminal.
Smart, yeah.
He is
but
still a
right,
smart
but
criminal.
you know what I mean though.
Yeah.
I guess you can get the
He's
idea.
more psychotic.
But I do like that what I've seen so far does still kind of have shades of Heath Ledger as well. You know, just in terms of his
Well,
voice
if
inflection.
you're talking about a role that's been played several
Yeah.
times by other actors and voice actors, you just kind of like pull from them for inspiration and sort of try and make it your own. But I like what I saw from Leto. I really like what I saw of Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
Yes.
I love like when that one scene when she's like, "What's that? Kill everybody?"
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever. She's like, "Oh, it's just the voice in my head. I'm kidding."
That's not what they
That's
said.
how they said. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that
That
line.
was a good line.
And also, like surprisingly, Jai Courtney looks like he's gonna be kind of funny. And Jai Courtney like is kind of like, I'm sorry, but he's like the butt of everyone's
He's not-
jokes. Like
yeah.
he's not a good actor
This
by any
might
means.
this might change people's mind and be like, maybe he's more of a character actor. I think
I mean,
somebody was talking
right,
like maybe
right,
he,
maybe
don't
he's been
give him
cast
the
in
lead
all the
thing,
wrong
give
roles,
him in
right.
the side
Right.
roles.
I mean, you gotta
Yeah,
give a lot of
exactly.
credit to the man's agent. He still gets work
Yeah.
somehow, but he seemed entertaining. I mean, obviously you can expect good things from Will Smith, I'm sure. I mean, there's just like so much going on in that trailer. It just looks like so much fun, and I mean, I'll just leave it at that. I'm just you know.
Any others films this year?
Um,
Honorable mentions?
honorable mentions. I mean, I could say other ones like Civil War and stuff like that, but the thing is, like, you know, Marvel's been at it for so long now. It's just sort of like it's the next movie, and at this point, I can only hope that it kind of meets my expectations. Like the only reason why I'm saying I have higher expectations for this is because Marvel just has to find a way to kind of work themselves out of this muck that they've sort of gotten themselves into, and they need to show that they are capable of delivering something that isn't just hitting like they're just checking off the boxes along the way.
And I think that's a very, I agree with that assessment, that Civil War is going to make or break the rest of this connected universe,
Right.
basically. Because if Civil War is going to be the same thing as Avengers 2 was, like where it was just trying to set up multiple threads and it doesn't really do anything different, then I think that sets the tone that we all know, well, now they're all just going to be
They
disappointments.
just need to prove that they're willing to take a risk somewhere along the line and change things up. And I'm just gonna sit back and wait, and just because I'm intrigued, but I want to see the first trailer for Assassin's Creed.
Yes.
Other than that,
I
all
agree.
the other movies, I mean, there are a lot of movies I'm looking forward to, but there aren't like a ton that I'm just like overly excited for.
Gotcha. Amber, give me your top and then your honorable mentions, just like
Well,
we just did
I
right
think
there.
Suicide Squad, after
Okay.
like what everything that Kosta was pointing out,
Okay.
is like I agree on every single point.
Mm-hmm.
I was I saw the first trailer and then the second trailer really got me, but I was still
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
To see that after the last Batman versus Superman trailer, I was like, yeah, no, I'm excited for this movie.
Yeah.
This movie looks interesting. That would have been on my honorable mentions, but I'm just because that comes out in March.
August is Suicide Squad.
Well, yeah, Suicide Squad. I have to wait all the till August.
Yeah.
If you'd
Which
asked
is
me a few
annoying.
months ago before that last trailer, I would have put probably also like Batman versus Superman. But no,
No,
actually,
yeah.
I'm more just kind of like I'm gonna go see it, but my expectations are not high.
My
They're
expectations are
very.
lower than lower.
I'm
than
gonna have
low.
them very low because then maybe I'll be very surprised with it. It's just Zack Snyder. I just don't really trust him
Like,
with anything.
I mean, as a real quick aside, my problem with Batman vs Superman is that trailer just proved everything I thought from the moment
I don't
that I heard
understand
that
why
it was
Batman
announced.
has a gun.
I don't understand, like, and I know there are all these reasons, but like, I'm sorry, but if you talk to general people, I know the comic books are out there where they
They
did.
don't
where
understand
they
why
did
they aren't
fight.
really fighting in the
Exactly.
trailer.
I talk to like.
And why
you know,
bring in
people,
Wonder Woman? Don't
And
bring
I'm
in
like,
Wonder
and whenever Batman vs Superman they're brought up, they're like, oh, that's so stupid. Why does Batman fight Superman? And yes, I realize there are reasonings behind it.
Yeah.
If you're a comic book fan, if you're a general moviegoer, you don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. The other problem with that the trailer revealed was yeah, they're gonna fight, but then it's gonna mean nothing.
And they showed the ending.
Right, and they
Wonder Woman's gonna bring them
showed how
together,
they're
yeah.
gonna get together.
So,
it's
it was kind of just like, I feel like they kind
Yeah.
of gave the entire plot line away in a way,
Yeah.
and maybe there's more stuff to it in between, but you get where you're gonna come
Right.
out at.
Well, all the other, a number of the other actors that play the other heroes
are gonna make an appearance.
are gonna
as
make it.
well.
They're on the IMDb
Yeah.
list. I mean, Jason Momoa is on there. Ezra Miller's on there.
I mean, he was one of the first, though. Like Jason Momoa was the first, like, big poster. They like revealed him right away, which I think was wrong. They shouldn't have revealed him, and I don't think they should have revealed Wonder Woman. I think Wonder Woman
They should have kept
They
that
should be
under
doing
wraps.
what
Well, I
and
mean, well,
Civil
not-
War.
right.
Or at
I'm-
least in
now-
that first
they should
trailer
be doing
with
what Spider-Man is now. Nobody
Right.
knows.
And
They
see,
know
now-
the actor. They don't know what
Now
he looks
you
like.
know, like, I mean, like I even thought like when they showed that in the trailer, that moment when Wonder Woman kind of steps in and saves Batman, you know, with her shield or whatever. If that would have been the first moment that Wonder Woman shows up, like where Diane Lane is dressed up as Wonder Woman, like you'll I mean, we'll see her earlier in the movie as her alter ego, but then if she just shows up out of nowhere, like that would have been like an audience applause
That should have been
moment.
something that should have been saved for the theater.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, everyone would have
Not
been
in-
clapping, like,
yeah.
oh, there's Wonder Woman,
Yeah,
yay.
But now
no,
we're all
no.
expecting.
Yeah, now we all
Because
know
their
what happened.
PR
So it's
sucks.
ruined.
Their
Yeah.
PR is really
Oh, their
shitty.
PR is terrible. They released
Yeah.
a graphic on Facebook saying, "Oh, you know, hear about Star Wars breaking all these records. Wait until March 16th."
You gave away half your
2016."
movie. Star
Really?
Wars hasn't given anything away.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
but okay.
But anyway, so
going
but
back.
I was gonna say,
yeah, what-
I also
what
do
other
like
film?
Civil War. I have I have faith in because it's not. I like the Russo brothers.
That
I
is
like
true.
Winter Soldier, and they're doing it. So I feel like they're going through. It's not an Avengers sequel, even though you have some
It is,
Avengers in
though.
it. Though
It
it's
is.
but it's Captain America
on.
and Captain
It's
America
Avengers
Winter.
2.5.
Oh, Avenger.
It's Avengers 2.5.
I will-
It has every Avenger minus 2. That makes it Avengers
Minus
2.5.
2.
Minus Hulk and.
And they had Hulk and Thor.
And Thor, yeah.
But then they throw in
minus
Black
2.
Panther and Spider-Man.
It's gonna have Spider-Man.
Exactly. So how's this not Avengers 2.5?
Because it's all about.
But it's not.
It's about
But it's
Captain
not.
America
But it's not.
and his
But it's
bro
not.
No,
ship
well, see, we,
with his
But it's
his
not.
love
Yeah, no,
triangle
it's not going to.
between
No,
Bucky.
That's what they're advertising it to be.
And Iron
but it's
Man.
not going to end up that
I
way.
mean, we'll see. The Russo brothers, they like Winter Soldier
Winter
is.
Soldier is one of the best.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I don't disagree at all. But again, Avengers 2.5. Or I'm sorry.
2.5,
No,
1.0.
Avengers 2. Avengers 2.0
Yeah.
doesn't give me much hope going forward in terms of the story writing. The Russo brothers did a good job with the script that they had, but what's the script going to be now?
Well, hopefully
you know
you
what I
can- we'll
mean.
see
Now
the-
that they're
the
trying
only-
to force so many storylines
see.
all in at once.
The thing that they will have to keep, you know, our eyes on is whether or not Marvel is going to allow them to continue to do whatever creative process went into them doing Winter Soldier. Keep doing that, because Winter Soldier, I mean, outside of the first Avengers movie, I mean, honestly, you can even argue Winter Soldier is the best Marvel
yeah,
movie.
I mean, to me, I like it.
I agree.
do. It's,
And-
This whole
And
MCU, yeah, I
you
do
just
like
have to hope that Marvel
Avengers and
doesn't.
Winter Soldier. Those are
And Marvel already has them pegged to do the Infinity Wars movies. So the next ensemble movies after Civil War. So, but you just have to hope that Marvel isn't as, you know, hands-on with that, like where they basically took the fun out of it and why Joss Whedon walked away.
Yeah.
You know, after Age of Ultron, because Marvel just wanted to change too much.
But see, and that's fine. But I guess Marvel hasn't shown me any reason to be faithful that they're going to do that.
Well, right, but
Yeah.
which
See
is
what
why
I mean?
which is why Civil War will let us know, because obviously Winter Soldier was so good. This is the second Marvel movie that the Russo brothers have gotten to do. So
and it's the
if-
third. It's the. I don't know if it's Captain America's the last Captain America movie.
Well, it
you know,
is
this
until
trilogy,
Infinity
unless he
Wars.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just saying like Captain America solo. I mean, even though
But
there's
it's
other,
not Captain
I
America
know,
solo.
but it's under Captain America, his
Right.
trilogy.
Right, but I'm saying that's why they should have just called it Avengers 2.5, because that's what it is.
Nobody would go to see it.
honestly, I think that the faces that you are going to see most frequently in this movie are going to be Captain America, Bucky, and Tony Stark. Those are going to be the three faces you see most frequently. Of course, you'll see everyone else, but I don't think it'll be as often as you might be thinking.
But the thing about this is why I want is also because I want to see Marvel's interpretation of where they're going to go with Spider-Man, because I have more faith in Marvel than I have with Sony, Fox, whoever, and I'm also interested to see also because you also have like Black Panther. Yeah. That's a really big deal, and if they're going to show any more of what's going to come. So I'm just excited for it. I enjoy the Marvel movies, and I might have not enjoyed the Avengers 2 as much as the first Avenger, like the Winter Soldier, but still, I mean, I am not gonna like stop watching them and be like, oh, that's it, no more. I'm still enjoying this world that they've created and what it's based off of, an interesting character. So, and also, you know.
So just moving on from the Marvel, because we've gone on a little bit about it. We can do a whole nother podcast another day.
But otherwise, like, I mean, but other movies that,
any others?
Possibly Deadpool. Like, I'm excited for it, but I'm not like, I want to see it.
Deadpool, aka the apology letter to Ryan Reynolds and X-Men fans.
Yeah.
For X-Men Wolverine.
And I don't know if there's any. Oh, and Jungle Book. Jungle Book. It might be my number one. I forgot all about it because.
Yeah.
But Jungle Book looks amazing, and that's like, I was like, there's a Disney movie there somewhere.
So, I'm gonna say the movie. Geez, see, there's so many to say that I can be looking forward to.
There's also
this
stuff
year.
that hasn't been announced yet.
And there has,
you know?
like Rogue One, Star Wars Rogue One next year. I'm excited for because it's going to be the first Star Wars of these anthology series, and it's going to be what I'm hoping. I mean, we haven't seen any trailer yet, but I'm hoping that's going to focus on strictly the sort of like espionage and military tactics of stealing the Death Star plans, and hopefully very limited Jedi involvement. I mean, Darth Vader has to be in there somewhere, but other than that, I'm hoping there's no Jedi involvement, and that's an awesome, interesting aspect of the Star Wars universe that has yet to be covered.
You're like putting in, like, you're filling in the holes or
gaps where you're filling in all
the
the side stories, and it's unlike the MCU where everything has to like thread together and predict future films. This is re-explaining things that have happened off screen. So
like
movies
ago,
tons of movies ago, but would still relate. So I think that makes it the most interesting movie coming out this year. Now, I mean, I can go down the list. I mean, I'm very excited for X-Men Apocalypse. I'm a fan of those films. I know you aren't, Amber, but
I've enjoyed the.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say I liked First Class, and I liked aspects of. What was the last one?
Days of Future
Past. I don't.
I know.
This one, I was just like, when you said how do you feel about it, because we went and had a trailer for it in Star Wars, and he turned to me, he's like, what do you think? And I said, I've already seen Power Rangers. Thank you very much.
But
and this doesn't feel like the 80s. I'm sorry.
For me, and that's fine. I'm not like I didn't
back
really
to the
focus.
Black suits. I noticed the leather black suits.
And
they should be yellow. They looked great in the other
movies.
movies.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
Anyway, so like, I mean, to my point, Bryan Singer has yet to fail me in when he's helmed an X-Men film. Specifically, when Bryan Singer has helmed an X-Men film.
I think the best movie was when he wasn't filming.
No, he was a producer.
He was a producer on all of them.
He was not a producer for the side stories, for Wolverine.
No, not Wolverine. I don't count that because the entire series, except for First Class, is Wolverine and Friends, and probably this one.
Right, but I'm saying like an X-Men 3, he was also not involved in. So I'm saying any X-Men project that Bryan Singer has been involved in has been good and has not failed me yet. So I have my faith in that. And just some quick honorable mentions along the way, because there are, like I said, a lot of interesting films. I can't wait to see Fantastic Beasts and where to find them, because when I first heard that
I haven't seen the trailer yet. I haven't watched that.
Oh, I mean, it's a quick teaser. It just kind of gives you like a setup of what the story's going to be about, which is good because when I first heard they were announcing it, if you've read the books, like you're like, wait a minute, that's a book about just like you think of it as like an encyclopedia of just fantastic creatures. So it's
is
just
that like a book that they read
in the
school,
Harry Potter
like
universe.
It's like like one of their textbooks.
Right, exactly. So I was like,
it's a textbooks movie.
So how are they going to make a movie out of this? But no, they actually have made it a dramatic, where Newt Scamander, who wrote that book, he comes to America with a suitcase full of magical creatures that he accidentally lets out.
How?
We don't know. That's just how it was
I was just going to say, how big is this suitcase?
It's small, but in the Harry Potter
Oh,
universe,
it's
that doesn't
magical.
matter.
I'm sorry.
It's
I
magical.
forgot. It's magical.
Yeah, it's
magical. There's so many
Remember?
elements
Yeah,
to the magic.
so-
There's like thousands of them in there.
But the cool thing is that we get to come back into the Harry Potter universe, but a completely different section because it takes place in America.
and
That's
like
the first driving
19
point.
30s or something.
Right,
Right.
and that was the first awesome thing when I first heard that. I was like, that's amazing because we haven't seen the Harry Potter universe anywhere else but London. You know, so that's great.
Hogwarts.
Hogwarts, right? Yeah. And then also, if you're a video game fan, I'm looking forward to the Sly Cooper movie that's supposed to come out later this year. Haven't heard anything about it in like
Are you sure it's still
2
coming
years.
out?
I don't know.
Okay, so you don't know if it's actually
literally
coming
2 years
out.
ago, they released a teaser trailer. They set up all their social media on YouTube, Facebook. They haven't posted a single thing about it since. They're also the same people making the Ratchet and Clank movie that's also coming out this year. So that may have delayed it
video
too.
game movies that nobody.
No,
except for you wants to
but
see.
this looks like real dedicated like
like the Angry Birds movie.
like the Peanuts movie.
Oh.
No, like the Peanuts movie, like where they wanted to recreate the original source but put it in a movie form. And I love the Sly Cooper video game series, so
Okay.
I hope it comes out this year.
Okay,
Yeah. So those are mine.
that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
One
there-
of 'em might be coming out, one of 'em
Again,
might not.
I can point to like a few other films
No,
here
that's-
there that also look good, and like there's something for everybody this year. I mean, Finding Dory, I'm probably gonna watch. Like I don't.
forgot that comes out,
I don't
yeah.
know if I'm a little bit worried that Pixar's treading into this sequel territory
Yeah,
now.
I like the original content.
Like they're right, exactly. They're
I mean,
coming out-
except for Toy
but
Story.
the
Toy
next-
Story had great sequels.
They had great
but,
sequels,
um,
but that's the problem is that now it's
Cars
going to be
2
all
and all these
sequels.
other things are like no.
Now it's going to be all sequels. It's Finding Dory. They're making Incredibles 2. They're making Toy Story 4. Like
Cars 3.
Cars 3.
There's no reason for Cars 3.
There's no
yeah.
reason for Toy Story 4 because they wrapped up Toy Story's story perfectly.
And what was the other one?
And Incredibles 2.
Incredibles 2, I can understand because there were
I
people
know.
that have been asking
There
for
have
that
been
movie
people
for a
clamoring
while.
for it, but I never was a huge fan of The Incredibles.
I mean, I don't know what more they can do with it.
Me neither. I mean, it's a superhero
It's about a
story,
family.
so they can create
It's-
anything.
I mean, I saw it as like it's about a family that
Yeah.
happens to have superhero powers, and that's what it was more about.
Yeah.
And then,
But I
whatever.
am excited for Suicide Squad more than Batman vs Superman.
I mean, I feel like Suicide Squad is going to be a better movie than Batman vs
Oh,
Superman.
absolutely, I agree.
Even like I just
And wait, is Civil War the only Marvel movie, or is Doctor Strange this year as well?
I think Doctor
Strange
Strange
might
is
be
this year.
at the very end of
but
the
yeah,
year.
it is
Because I
this
think they're
year.
still filming it
But
right
Civil
now.
War
Yeah.
comes first.
Right.
obviously,
So I mean, you can add kind of Doctor Strange up there
that's
because
on my thing where
I
it's
heard
like,
Spider-Man might be cameo in Doctor Strange.
well, he's already going to cameo in
He's not
Civil
cameo,
War.
he's in Civil War.
Well,
Whatever. I
but-
mean,
Well,
look,
you love Spider-Man.
I love
Shut your
Spider-Man,
mouth
but
and just be
I love
happy.
Spider-Man, but this completely contradicts Marvel's previous setup of introducing the characters and then putting them into the connected
I think they get a
story.
pass to Spider-Man though, just because he's
But- but-
the most recognizable hero on their like universe, and you can get away with just throw. Oh, hey, look, there's Spider-Man.
see, I-
Everybody knows who Spider-Man is.
But and that's fine, but it's gonna affect his
Don't-
main story
Don't
too, though.
talk
his
and
main
jinx
movie.
him because we've been waiting for a really, really good Spider-Man movie forever. And if he has to
We
make
have.
a cameo or just walk on and say, "Hey, everybody, I like spiders," and then walk out in science, and then
we
go.
have, but another reason why I'm excited for X-Men and Deadpool is because those are like the only superhero movies coming out that aren't like connected to an overall universe.
Well,
yeah.
Deadpool
they're,
and
they're,
X-Men
they're
are
in
gonna
the
be
same
connected.
world, but their stories are not directly linked. Like,
'Cause
like how they are in the MCU. All the stories are directly linked
But
to
they
each
have-
other.
Because I've even
Process is-
because
Not
I
like
mean
that.
I've even heard that if Deadpool is successful,
They might bring him into X-Men.
well, maybe not necessarily the X-Men,
I like to
but
do where
they
he
might.
kills the X-Men.
But like where
See, that'd be
he might
interesting,
play a
actually.
role in the final Wolverine movie, or whatever.
Okay,
Or maybe
okay.
they bring him into.
Okay, and
like,
I don't
larger
want- I don't
X-Men
want him
movie.
even
and that's fun to play
with Wolverine.
Look, I'd be okay with small things like that, but I'm just glad that like I can watch a story that's just about this superhero and not focusing on this storyline, that storyline, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. No, it's just about Deadpool.
I would like a Deadpool movie where it's Deadpool and he's technically would be like the villain, but you're following him because he's funny and he's Deadpool and he's going after X-Men characters. Because he's like kind of like he's an assassin, right?
That should be a really interesting way for them to reset the X-Men
No,
universe.
and
He just
that
kills
would-
everybody.
That
Just
would be kind
goes
of interesting.
after.
I'm not gonna
He
lie,
goes
that would be
after X.
interesting.
He goes after because I think he does actually in the comics.
Yeah, in the comics, he kills all the X-Men.
I want to see that. I want
See,
him to
that
kill
would
all the
that
X-Men.
would be a very interesting movie. I'd be very honest. I'm not a big fan of crossovers, but that's actually not that bad of an idea.
And that's how you get rid of like.
That's how you reset.
That's how you just be like, oh, they're all dead. I killed them,
But
and
Ryan
you can't
Reynolds
kill
gets to
me.
stay. But,
Yeah.
but Ryan Reynolds gets to stay as Deadpool though.
Yeah, 'cause you
on
can't-
the
you
reset. Yeah, you can't recast him. No.
Well, no, obviously not at this point. You know, like it looks like he's gonna at least do this role justice. It looks like, to me, it looks like Ryan Reynolds is a guy who really wanted Deadpool to be
And a
good
and
character.
fans wanted him.
Right, and the
Right.
fans wanted him, and I think Fox realized that. They were like, you know what? You're right. We didn't do right for your character
You
in
did not
Deadpool.
do-
No.
Right,
And what the
yeah.
great thing is about Fox is I have to say this movie for Deadpool has had the best promotion PR.
Yeah, they've had some.
I mean,
yeah, it's been good.
compared to like
Yeah.
Batman, I mean, that next to like also Star Wars, I think too. Star Wars had really good promotion.
Star Wars had very
I mean,
good promotion.
I mean, they were
Especially after you saw the movie,
They didn't give
and then
anything
you
away.
saw like
For
the
not
PR
giving anything away, but like
campaign
this
heading
one,
up to it, yeah.
But this one just like because it's like it's a rated R movie. It's what people have been wanting and all this stuff. It's had just like the trailers for it, and then the teaser things with him going online and just like just
I love
shit.
I love the Australian
The
one.
Australian one was pretty good, and then he like made a dig at like Wolverine
and
Dragon.
the Origins movie
Yeah,
as well.
I mean, and some of the billboards I've seen for it, I was just.
I mean,
it's really
Deadpool.
great.
Deadpool is the most meta comic book character.
and they're playing
There
up
is.
to that
I'm
fact.
They're
looking
playing
forward
up
to
to-
him
right.
literally talking to the audience.
I mean,
Yeah.
talking to the
Pointing out that this is
audience
a
and
movie.
everything. I mean, the one thing I feel 100% confident about is that the character is going to be very entertaining in the movie. It's everything else that you have to
And
be
I agree
concerned with.
because again, I'm not the comic book fan, so I have no idea what the story is
Yeah.
at all. Like beyond like his origin of how he became Deadpool. I mean, okay, yes, I get that, but
It's pretty
I have
simple,
no idea.
yeah.
Right, it's a personal thing. Yes, I mean all things you can understand as a moviegoer, but I agree that I don't know what the story is going to be, and I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I mean, it's going to be entertaining. You know, I mean, I'm going to go see it.
I mean, the
you know,
trailers
like-
have already been entertaining, and
Yeah.
I like that they've only just shown like pretty much that one scene like over and over again with different like.
Oh,
They
yeah.
haven't really given that much else away from it, so I'm
Yeah.
hoping that like what is in the trailer is just part of
Yeah.
that one scene, and then everything else linear cut. There's like a bigger part of it. 'Cause
Absolutely.
that's I hate trailers that give everything away.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
Me too.
some superhero trailers.
And I think we got that
Yeah,
well
yeah,
covered
yeah.
at this point. But yeah, cool.
Yep.
It should be a good year for movies, hopefully.
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 Yeah.
Come on, don't disappoint us, Hollywood.
Yeah.
I'll say my goal is to see more movies this year in theaters than I did last year.
How many did you see last year?
19.
19. Yeah, I
I
think
don't
mine
know how
floated
many.
around there. I think it was like around 20 something.
I don't know. I don't really count. I just like try and just think and just
I've
like
seen.
I think I saw more movies last year than I had in like a few, like in the theaters than a few previous years combined.
I think I know that I've seen more
So-
movies with you guys
Oh,
this
yeah.
year.
Ever since we started doing
Ever
this
since we
show.
did this, I've seen.
Yeah,
I was
which
like,
makes sense.
I've gone to the movies more this year than I know that I went last
Right.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Spent a lot of money at the movies this year.
yeah.
So, it definitely contributed to Star Wars's, highest box office
Yeah,
gross
I
ever.
gave Disney more of my money. And I'll give them more of my money later.
That'd be awesome if we took the time to calculate how much money we all gave to Disney.
Well, figure for
individually this year.
every Marvel movie you go to,
That's
every
Disney.
Star Wars movie
Star
you
Wars,
go to,
yeah.
and any just standard Disney movie.
Yep,
you go
Pixar.
to.
I mean, they're
Pixar.
gonna get my money when
Jungle
Jungle
Book.
Book comes out because that looked amazing. I was like, oh my god, I'm seeing this movie. This is all. Look at the giant snake.
Yeah.
That's what I was like. Scarlett
Yeah,
Johansson, the
Johansson.
giant snake.
See,
Giant snake.
everybody's worried about Google, but Disney's the all-seeing company you need to worry about.
Yeah, exactly.
They got their hands in everything.
Oh, jeez.
It's the most
Well-
wonderful place on earth. What are you
Right.
talking about?
One of the most
Join
wonderful places
us.
on earth and
Join
in film,
us.
right? No. But anyway, so that's it. That's your 2016 preview guide, and should be a fun year. I'm looking forward to do a fun year of podcasts with you guys.
Yep.
Hopefully we can actually keep it up this time.
Yep.
But yeah, so should be fun. Thank you guys. All right, thank you all for joining. Make sure to find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Twitter, it's at Movie.Cast. Facebook, you can just find us Movie.Cast, and YouTube. Make sure to follow our videos and all that. Subscribe. We'll see you next time.